All right, so ready to dive into some Manila traffic talk.
Always ready for that.
This time we're talking about something pretty wild.
Mhm.
Imagine sitting in Manila's crazy traffic and you see this bus lane, the Edsa Busway.
Yeah.
It's actually moving, like efficiently. People are getting where they need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine the authorities want to just like get rid of it.
It's kind of a head scratcher.
It is.
Like the MMDA,
Mm-hmm.
the Metro Manila Development Authority, they're saying the busway is repetitive because it runs alongside the train line.
Oh, okay.
So they're basically thinking that once they boost the train capacity, nobody's going to need the busway.
So they're putting all their eggs in one basket,
Yeah.
the train basket.
Yeah.
But like, isn't a bus full of people, like, isn't that the ultimate high occupancy vehicle? It's like saying we have spoons, so we don't need forks anymore.
It's funny because also the timing is pretty interesting.
What do you mean?
Well, they want to roll this plan out by 2026, which is, the Zainan summit.
Oh, right.
All those Southeast Asian leaders kind of makes you wonder if they're more focused on like impressing these international guests than they are with like how people in Manila actually get around every day.
So it's like they're putting on a show for the summit.
Kind of seems like it.
So what would getting rid of the busway, like what would that actually look like?
Well, they're talking about making the lane for high occupancy vehicles. But here's the thing.
Okay.
The Edsa Busway already moved over 63 million people in 2024.
Wow.
And just in January this year, an average of 177,000 people used it daily.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that is.
Really shows how important this busway is for Manila's transportation.
Okay, so a lot of people rely on the busway,
Yeah.
but not everybody wants to get rid of it, right?
Definitely not.
Okay.
The DOTR, the Department of Transportation, they've been pretty vocal about their support for the busway, and they're actually like taking a different approach altogether.
How so?
Well, they want to partner with the private sector to make it even better.
Yeah.
Smoother rides, better stations, the whole thing.
Oh, very cool.
So, yeah, they're really focused on making the busway even more efficient, not getting rid of it.
So we've got like two different approaches then.
Yeah.
One side that wants to like just scrap it and prioritize cars, and the other side that's all about making public transport work better.
Exactly.
Feels like we're seeing two very different like visions for what Manila could be.
Absolutely. And then, you got to factor in the Filipino
Discarte.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
resourcefulness, bending the rules, that kind of thing.
Oh, right, right.
Well, there's been reports of private vehicles, even some belonging to, politicians who are illegally using the bus lane,
Oh, no.
which kind of undermines the purpose a bit, right?
Yeah, definitely. It feels like there's this clash between what's convenient for one person and what's good for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the lane's for buses, but I'm in a hurry, so I'll just use it anyway.
I know. Right?
It feels like that mentality is at the heart of this debate.
I think you're totally right. The busway was all about getting people to ditch their cars and use public transport.
Yeah.
But when people ignore the rules and just clog up the bus lane, it messes up the whole system.
And it's not even just about convenience, is it?
No.
I mean, the busway's like the last mile for a lot of commuters. It takes them to places where the train doesn't even go.
Yeah.
Like that final piece of the puzzle to get them home or to work or wherever they need to be.
Right.
And plus, buses run 24/7, unlike the train.
That's a good point. For a lot of people, especially the ones who can't afford a private vehicle, that busway is the only reliable way to get around. Getting rid of it wouldn't just be inconvenient.
Yeah.
It would make their lives way harder. Makes you wonder, if this whole thing about getting rid of the busway is like a sign that Manila doesn't care about public transport anymore.
Yeah, like, hey, if you can afford a car, you're good, but if not, tough luck.
Pretty much. And then you think about like the environment.
Right, yeah.
More cars means more pollution, worse air quality.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Manila's air is already bad enough.
Yeah, exactly. This just seems like a step in the wrong direction.
Like, they're ignoring the whole global thing about sustainable cities, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
it is.
Okay, let's be optimistic for a minute, though.
Okay.
What if instead of getting rid of the busway,
Right.
we actually made it better?
Now you're talking. Imagine like modern buses,
Yeah.
eco-friendly, maybe even electric. Better infrastructure, comfortable stations, accessible, and of course actually enforce the bus lanes.
Yes. No more free rides for rule breakers.
Exactly.
I love that. Like taking something that works and making it even better.
Yeah.
Maybe even expand it,
Yeah.
Connect more areas that don't have good public transport.
Exactly. Make it so good, so convenient, so reliable that people actually want to leave their cars at home.
Right. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Less traffic, cleaner air, more connected city.
It's the dream.
It is. But how do we convince the people in charge? How do we make them see that this is worth investing in?
Well, the DOTR is already doing a good job, you know? Yeah.
Using data to show how effective the busway is, how many people use it, how much time it saves them, how it helps the environment. That's got to be convincing.
It's about the value, right?
Yeah.
Not just the cost.
Exactly.
It's an investment in the city and its people.
Right. And don't forget the social benefits, too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, a good public transport system means everyone can get to jobs, education, important services.
Yeah.
No matter how much money they make, it makes the city more fair.
So it's not just about being able to afford a car.
Nope. It's about creating a city that works for everyone.
I like that. Imagine Manila as this model for amazing public transport.
Yeah.
A city that puts people first.
That's a legacy worth working for.
It really is. But it comes down to making the right choices now.
For sure.
Choices that put the needs of everyone above the convenience of a few.
And choices that think about the long term, you know. What kind of city are we building?
Yeah, are we making a city that's sustainable and fair? Or are we just going to end up with more traffic, more pollution, and more inequality? It's a big question.
It is, and it's not just for Manila. It's for cities everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, the big picture and stuff.
Yeah.
But what does this whole busway thing, like, actually mean for, you know, the average person in Manila just trying to get around?
It means that your voice actually matters in this.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. This isn't just some decision for politicians to make.
Right.
The people who use public transport every single day,
Uh-huh.
they have the power to decide what their city's going to be like.
You know, that reminds me of that time they tried to ban motorcycles on Edsa.
Oh, yeah.
People were so upset that they actually had to change their minds.
Exactly. When people speak up together, things can actually change.
Wow.
So whether it's writing to your representatives, joining groups, or even just talking about it online,
Yeah.
every voice makes a difference.
So it's about holding the leaders accountable,
Definitely.
making sure they remember they work for the people.
Exactly. And it's about demanding solutions that work for everyone. We can't just keep adding more cars to the roads.
No way Manila's already packed.
Exactly. We got to be smarter and prioritize solutions that are good for everyone and good for the planet.
This whole conversation has really made me think about what kind of city I want to live in.
Yeah.
Do we want a city that's only for cars and only for people who can afford them?
Right?
Or do we want a city that's easy and affordable to get around in no matter what?
That's the question, isn't it? And it's not just Manila either. It's cities all over the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. The future of our cities is in our hands.
That's right. Let's build a future that works for everyone.
A future with better public transport and leaders who actually listen to the people.
A city that's sustainable, fair, and just a better place to live for everyone. That's a future worth fighting for.